So Bitcoin did finally hit 69,000 USA dollars per Bitcoin and broken out of this downward channel you see here. What does this mean right now, guys? Is the bull market here, right? So we're going to be looking into that today in today's video. This is a very important matter right now, as we have Bitcoin finally doing something and kind of like now is moving towards my plan and what I've been planning this long on Bitcoin and also on our meme coins. So basically in previous videos, guys, where I make videos about Bitcoin, bull market is coming, prepare, get ready, you know, this kind of titles. The idea was simple, is that this 48,000 Bitcoin low here was the actual low, right? For this year, for this bull market, that was it, right? If you missed the dip, that's it, right? And it's kind of now solidifying that is might be the case, and it's looking like it is might be the case, and we're slowly going there. Now still we have this belief in the market today, right? People still don't believe this pump. A lot of people are still having this PTSD. This range was too long, right? This range took 200 something days, right? Let's see, this was 224 days of sideways. So it is understandable that a lot of people now are kind of, is it now the real one? Is this the real breakout? Are we gonna see finally Bitcoin going up? So I do think personally, and that's what I was saying, is that we spent 200 days here and we are due for a pump. It has to happen soon, right? It's 200 days. This is too long. We've seen this actually playing out here as well. And there are a lot of similarities in these two here. So this was also 200 days. The bear market one was as well 200 days, which is, go figure, this is crazy, right? 200 days, 200 days, 200 days. Each time we broke out to the upside, and the chances of this one breaking out to the outside was simple because we are after the halving, and we're kind of getting the rate cuts and everything is gearing up towards seeing a Bitcoin pump in a cryptocurrency bull market. For those that do not know why we're talking about this, simple, because Bitcoin pumps, everything else starts pumping, including every meme coin out there. So it's very important to understand this simple thing and understand what Bitcoin is about to do here. So one thing I noticed here this morning, guys, is something interesting, is that October is somewhat of a month that gets Bitcoin pumping. So this was also October, right? This is interesting. Look at that, October. I do think we had also here October, right? So this one as well is October. Look at that now. So 1, 2, 3 times now we have a pump in October as well. Something we want to be looking at with Bitcoin, and is this actually the true breakout, right? I know it's kind of hard to believe when we're trying just to look at the charts to understand if it's actually this one is the one, right? And hopefully it is, right? So the thing here is, for the first time or since July, we have Bitcoin closing above 68k on the weekly. This is a weekly monstrous gigantic Thor hammer green candle on the weekly on Bitcoin, closing above 68,000 since July. So that's something big to be looking at here. Since July, you see, this is the candle, the July candle on the weekly. We had it come up, close at 68k, and since then we haven't seen any close like that, and now we've seen it close above it. As you can see here, whenever we have wicks do mean that this was not a convincing downtrend, or like this was not a convincing dump, right? A wick signifies that price went down quickly, people bought it up very quickly, and it went back up. So usually it reverses, and that's what we've seen now, right? It's also called a swing failure pattern for those that want to learn more technical terms for these things. But since we close now here fully with a full body candle here, this is more bullish, right? This shows that there weren't now much sellers left in the market. The JITs are kind of now losing their supply, and the spaghetti hands are slowly getting out of the markets now, which is something we want to see. That's what's going to lead us to the breakout. So one more thing as well we want to be looking at is what's leading this Bitcoin pump now. So BlackRock Bitcoin ETF is now the third largest year to date and the fastest growing ETF in history. So I've shown you this in the previous video, guys. We talked about that, is that this pump recently, we've seen this out of the blue pump, nobody could have guessed it, right? Was due to the big banks buying Bitcoin, right? Big banks are buying Bitcoin, believing, right, that we are heading towards a bull market, while the crypto space is freaking out after each red candle, and the crowd is freaking out, basically. These are all actually strong indicators that Bitcoin is about to send it. It's about to actually send it. We could see some short-term volatility, like today we're seeing a bit of a drop, and that just means this could possibly be a retest of 65k or 64k, and then we move back up higher. Now, it doesn't matter what Bitcoin does from here. This also would be the time for altcoins to start gearing up higher. So what this means for our meme coins and our altcoins. So basically, Bitcoin dominance is where we want to be looking at next. So now Bitcoin dominance is at 58%. So as soon as this starts to trend down, historically, we start to see the meme coin season, the big runs, the 1000 X's, the 100, the 200 X's. This is the moment we're holding our bags now for, basically. Looking at Bitcoin tells us, are we in a bull market or are we in a bear market? The second thing we want to be looking at is Bitcoin dominance, because this is what tells us, all right, are we in the right direction or not? So now we're still in the right direction. Usually, historically, we want to be buying the way up on Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin dominance is going up, or especially around the last pump on Bitcoin dominance, we want to be actually buying up stuff, right? Because as soon as it reverses down, everything starts flying, right? All the altcoins starts to fly. And you can see this purple line here is others, all other meme coins or other altcoins besides the top 10. And as soon as Bitcoin dominance historically starts to drop, we start to see the actual altcoin season, right? For those that haven't been here, this is actually what you heard in the stories. Your friends telling you about, the friends that told you they got rich from crypto. This is the phase. This is what got them rich. So that's why we're waiting for it. This is the time. And it happens when this starts to go down. Bitcoin dominance starts to go down. You see this fly to the moon rocket ship going higher. This is when Bitcoin dominance starts to go down. And now Bitcoin dominance is still going up, right? Now, some people will ask about Bitcoin dominance has been going up, but we did some gains. We're getting rich. We made some money. Well, consider yourself lucky because most of the market is still down, right? You look at any altcoin from the last cycle, DOT or like XRP or something, all those people now that think they are higher than you now, if you're buying meme coins, all of them are down, right? Because we are on meme coins, we're doing better than the market. But most of the market is down as hell, right? Real down. And as soon as Bitcoin dominance is going to start going down, everything will start pumping, right? Everything. So that's what we're waiting for. Bitcoin dominance now is at 58%. Now, some people say it's going to go to 60%. Some people is going to go, some say it's topped already. Some people been calling for tops on it for a long time. It doesn't matter for us, honestly. I do think is more time for people to accumulate is needed, because I do think now a lot of these spaghetti hands and G's are starting to understand that we are actually going to get a bull market, and they start to freak out, especially now that they're seeing Bitcoin going up. They're probably now freaking out, right? They're probably freaking out and trying to buy up everything they can. That's why we're seeing some sort of like a meme coin season going on right now. It's not the main one, but it's coming, right? It's going, like people are actually now feeling it, like feeling the pumps, feeling it's gonna happen. They're gonna get left behind. And basically that's what fuels actually the altcoin season, by the way, is people missing out, the FOMO. You heard probably that, the fear of missing out, and it's needed for actually a run. So that's why I try to always say, like, you want to be early, you want to be the one that believe first, because belief is everything. Belief gets you not FOMOing, right? So when you FOMO, it's because you did not believe before, right? That's the main thing. If you feel like the fear of missing out, it means that you missed out already. It means that you did not believe before, and now you're starting to believe. That's what happens. But overall, most people have time now. Most people still got time. If you are freaking out now and you think the bull market is about to start and I'm not allocated, you do have some maybe 2 to 3 months, because usually our altcoin season, it starts to give signs or signals that it's about to start. It does not go full on until Bitcoin dominance is actually on its way down. It starts to break down here. That's when it's actually a good sign, because this means like smart money is moving its money from Bitcoin to other coins like ETH, like Solana, like the big ones, right? Then they start to move their holdings to other coins, like maybe DOGECOINE and SHIBA Inu. Depends what kind of high market cap meme coin they like, right? When they start to sell their Bitcoin for these plays here, you're gonna start to see Bitcoin dominance going down, but nobody will tell you about that, right? They're not gonna come like smart money, or it's not gonna come to Twitter or YouTube and tell you, hey guys, we're selling Bitcoin, we're buying ETH now, we're buying this coin now. They're not gonna say that. We're gonna see it in the chart, right? We're gonna see Bitcoin dominance going down. These guys, they front run the fear of missing out, the disbelievers, the people that did not believe the pumps this far, they're gonna front run them. So that's what's gonna show in the charts here. In Bitcoin dominance is gonna start to trend down, but nobody will talk about it, right? It's gonna start to trend down. Maybe it's a lower high, right? Maybe it's gonna bounce back up, but nobody's gonna talk about it until it actually breaks down, and it's almost too late for everybody to start getting allocated because the whales already bought up everything. They sold their Bitcoin, they're buying up altcoins. Here, it's kind of early for the people that are gonna join maybe in February, March, but it's gonna be pretty damn late once this one is here. Once Bitcoin dominance is here, everybody is late, right? That's when usually retail comes into the space. You can see this top here on others occurred right at the bottom of Bitcoin dominance. So this was when everybody came into the space, right? 2021, everybody started buying altcoins, while the people that bought in altcoins here at the Bitcoin dominance top, the whales in that case, they started buying Bitcoin. They started selling altcoins to buy Bitcoin. So basically, this is what this is showing. When it's at the high here and it starts reversing, this means that smart money is selling Bitcoin to buy altcoins. At the low here, smart money is gonna start selling altcoins to buy Bitcoin. But most of the retail do not know that, right? That's why we are looking at Bitcoin dominance. It tells us a lot. So for now, everybody that is here today is gonna make it and is already in the process of making it, right? We got into a lot of meme coins pretty early, thank God, right? Pepe at around 200 million, BONK 100 million, Flokia personally got in early. I don't know if some of you been following me on Twitter back in the days, but around 10 to 20 million, which are now pretty high. So I do think now it's much better to be looking at upcoming altcoins or meme coins in that, for that matter, which I shared with you now, few, especially those that have strong communities that are on ETH, because ETH is going to be a big major player this cycle. I'm going to show you now why, especially those on ETH. So possibly now Brett on ETH is going to be one of these top players as well, like Pepe here. And the main reason ETH is going to be the first major player, guys, is this here, right? So BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is now the third largest year-to-date, fastest growing ETF in history. So you gotta understand what's gonna happen here is that now boomers, I like this tweet under it, boomers like our coins, but basically what this means is big banks and people that like ETFs and that can only invest in ETFs now like crypto, like Bitcoin. Mind you that they started buying Bitcoin since it got accepted, basically, or since the ETF started trading around $48,000. They're pretty much in profits now, right? They feel good. They feel like they invested. They're gonna be soon be 2x in profits soon, right? So Bitcoin needs to go to actually 82, 85. They're gonna be in an actual. They're gonna make 2x in less than a year, or maybe let's say that depends how long Bitcoin is gonna take. But it's around a year. So you can never do that in the stock market, right? These people are gonna FOMO. They're gonna do the same thing. They're people, right? Just like us, when you make a lot of gains from one coin, you want to FOMO into the next one, and you want to repeat the same process until you get wrecked. The same thing is gonna happen to them. So the same thing is probably they're gonna FOMO into the next ETF and what's offered to them. What's offered to them now is ETH. That's the thing. They have ETH after. So if we look at the ETH chart against Bitcoin, which is the most important one you want to be looking at, because that tells you who is buying Bitcoin. Are they buying now ETH or are they buying now Bitcoin? That's very important, something to keep in mind, and why ETH meme coins are gonna go crazy nuts. They're gonna go crazy, and that's because of this, and a lot of people not talking about it. So you're pretty damn early to get this information now. Don't forget to leave a like. So Bitcoin, ETH against Bitcoin is at actual lows, like actual lows. This is probably the bottom for Bitcoin, for ETH Bitcoin. ETH against Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. This is not in the US dollar for the new people. This just shows you who is king now, right? Who is wearing the crown. So now Bitcoin is wearing the crown, but ETH is at bottom against it. So ETH is about to take the crown and become the king of crypto, right? So we did see this playing out before, where let's say we put that here. So let's just put this support where ETH broke down, right? ETH broke down from here, then bottomed, right? Bottomed, then came back to reclaim this to shoot higher. We had it playing out exactly here before the 2017, which was the strongest bull market for ETH, right? We've seen the same thing here, right? You see it broke down against Bitcoin, then went on a bull market. In 2021, we had something pretty similar, but it did take a bit longer since ETH was just coming out of a long bull market. But you see it's had the same floor here. Floor went below the floor, then back up here, and then sent it higher. So that's what we have here. It's pretty much playing the same way. If you look at it this way, it's below support, below support, below support. And then as soon as it reclaims, it sends. And that's pretty bullish for ETH. And I do see this lining up perfectly with this ETF thing. People that buy ETFs are human, just like us when when we buy anything on Uniswap or TechScreener or whatever, they will feel greed, right? Greed is going to drive them to the next ETF, which is ETH. And possibly this is where they're going to get wrecked, because at some point they're going to have to get wrecked, because no FOMO goes unpunished, right? And they're going to get punished on ETH. So what we know is that they're possibly going to do that, send ETH higher, and maybe there's going to be another ETF. If that happens, if there is another ETF, then they're saved. ETH is going to be the next coin that's going to make them rich, but then the next ETF is going to wreck them. There has to be an ETF that's going to wreck them, because FOMO needs to get punished, and they're going to get punished on one of these crypto ETFs at some point. Just to come back to my point, ETH is bottomed. So if we go to ETH USDT, right? So ETH USDT had a very, very huge sell-off here, which was due to that when we see in Bitcoin dropping, ETH dropped even harder. So all the JITs of ETH are out, right? And now ETH is actually accumulating. It's kind of a chart that you see on some meme coins sometimes, but it almost plays everywhere. It just shows you the sell-off is done, right? You see that the sell-off is done. Nobody's interested to sell here anymore. And now we're slowly trying to break up. We need actually ETH to break above 2,700, 2,800. As soon as it's gonna do that, this is the next leg up on ETH. So for the people that don't understand what this means, right, that ETH is gonna get more expensive, right? And most of our meme coins are valued against ETH. Even if you read them with USD, right, they are actually valued against ETH. And these meme coins that are valued against ETH, if ETH price goes up in USD, their price is also gonna go up in USD, because they are valued against ETH. And that's very important. Even without people buying or new people buying, the price of meme coins on ETH is gonna go up just because ETH price is going up. And this will also create more FOMO, as you all know, right? By now, I hope everyone understands what is FOMO and what to do and what not to do. And everybody at the lows here started talking shit about ETH and saying ETH is dead, ETH is this, ETH is that. Crypto banter, making a whole journal on Twitter why he is breaking up with ETH and all that stuff at the lows. You cannot make this up at the lows, right? People hated ETH. So the same thing, people are gonna love ETH here, right? They're gonna love it. Everybody's gonna talk about it. And you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be looking into ETH memes, and they're gonna be talking about ETH memes. And that's why ETH memes are destined to fly, right? They're destined to fly and go way higher than most people expect. Most meme coins on ETH go to billions, right? For each meme coin on Solana, like Popcat, going to 1 billion for each coin like that, there are 4 or 5 on ETH that do the same thing easily, right? With their eyes closed, because ETH is a very big chain, right? So the same thing is going to happen for meme coins that are on ETH right now, right? Like Breton ETH, recently I talked about it. Very low market cap coin right now. Those coins are going to go into the billions easily when this is going to start to happen. And we have new people coming into the space, and everybody talking about ETH and looking into ETH meme coins and talking shit about Solana, right? Because one more thing now here before we wrap up the video, which is interesting. This is how you want to prepare for this bull market, guys. It's happening, right? First off, you're in the right path. You just want to be holding now and waiting for this to play out. The second thing is you want to understand that ETH meme coin is where you want to be looking. Most importantly, this is important today, since now Solana is or has been outperforming ETH. So this is Sol against ETH, right? Since Solana has been outperforming ETH since September 2023, right? Like most of it is because Solana took a big hit against ETH in 2022 bear market. Since it started recovering faster than ETH, it's been outperforming ETH. And now at the highs, you cannot make this up, because the herd is always wrong. At the highs of Sol against ETH, everybody loves Sol and everybody hates ETH, right? What could go wrong here? While ETH has an ETF, why we're seeing these ETFs here, largest year to date and fastest growing ETFs in history. So it's a matter of time to see the rotation from Bitcoin ETFs to ETH ETFs. Now this does not mean you need to buy ETH unless you're a millionaire or billionaire. Yeah, you can buy ETH, but this means that you want to be looking into coins that are on ETH. Most importantly, meme coins, right? You don't want to be looking at utility. Utility has been underperforming every other thing here. Meme coins have been the major gainers this cycle, and they're gonna continue being the major gainer this cycle, unless you are I don't know, you believe into utility and technology and AI taking over and all that stuff, and you just want to make a 2x and that's good for you. Yeah, go ahead. But if you're here to make life-changing gains, then meme coins on ETH are gonna be the biggest gainers by far, and they've proven so. So I don't know. Now, that's the thing here, guys. So the bull market is coming with Bitcoin here. I do think personally we're past now these 200 days on Bitcoin. Something should happen soon, which is already happening. It's just hard to believe now, right? After this whole thing here, these 200 days is pretty hard to believe that this is it. Are we gonna break out from here? Is this it, right? So we do have as well the CPI reports coming in soon, and the election coming in soon in like 2 to 3 weeks. And I do think personally that the market is front running those news, right? Somebody knows something and they're front running the news. They understand that the news are likely to be positive. We've seen as well Trump recently leading the polls, which means people are more confident that he's gonna win and more confident that he's good for crypto and more confident that he's good for the economy and that things are gonna fly. Those are the people that are smarter than us, front running the market now. They know things that we don't know. Possibly that's what I think why we're seeing this big push, mainly coming from ETFs and big banks that do know things that we don't know, right? So that's something to keep in mind. As long as we have these inflows on ETFs, this bull market might just be something really out of this world, something we haven't seen before, since we have now the whales of the world supporting the floor and holding the floor and fighting off the spaghetti hands and the G. The most thing to keep in mind and to be looking at here is you got time to accumulate, right? So in anyone's shoes right now, what I would be doing or what I am doing, I'm just accumulating, I'm just buying stuff and I'm just holding because I know this thing is gonna play out, right? For the people that are sidelined, you do not have much time, to be honest with you. If I was sidelined here today in the market, I would be very pissed that I missed this whole run from here. I would be really pissed because I'm like that. I'm a winner. I like to win, right? Some people are very lazy, right? They wake up today and like, oh, Bitcoin is at 68k and then maybe tomorrow it's gonna be at 67, maybe next month it's gonna drop, or hoping, right? Because I have friends that are like that, right? That's why I'm talking like that, because I remember I told a lot of friends to start buying stuff here and they didn't, and here they still thought it's gonna be a recession and it's gonna drop, and then here they're saying the same thing and they're hoping it's gonna drop again because of a recession, but they're not saying anymore that stuff. They just accepted the fact that they missed out, basically, right? So in this situation here, I would be really pissed if I was sidelined. I would just be slowly accumulating and dissing into stuff and holding my positions because I'm pretty early on these positions that I cannot let go right now while the market is about to break out and start a real major bull market. So it's very simple. If you're sidelined, DCA. If you're not sidelined, just hold and wait for this thing to play out. Most of the memes on it are going to be the major gainers. Then we're going to see a late cycle euphoria pumps going on into other chains. Solana might underperform, as we see here in the Sol against ETH. It's around the top while everybody loves it and everybody praises Solana and hates ETH. You can't make this shit up again, right? At the highs, they all love it. They all love it. At the lows, they all hate it. So most likely Solana against ETH is gonna go down, not in its USD valuation. I know a lot of people don't understand this yet, but it means ETH is gonna perform better than Solana. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.